Hey Alana, this is Mrs. Skoglund. Just wanted to give you a little feedback on your summer assignment. We're mostly going to talk about chapter 2 since that was the question that you starred, but I'll kind of reference some other parts of your assignment as we go through it as well. So the first thing that I look for in a body paragraph, which is what this structure is a good topic sentence, and we want that to be your opening sentence that should ideally answer the question to be able to kind of preview what's going to come in the rest of the paragraph. I think, Alana, you are definitely like talking about the question. So for example, on this one, you mention that jobs are becoming less available, particularly those L-directed jobs. But notice that the question wants you to say how these 3 A's, abundance, Asia, automation, impact that. And so I noticed here and also in a few of your other questions, I'm not sure you totally get to like the heart of the answer. And so maybe doing a little revision and getting that right off the bat would be good. Next, I actually look at the end of your paragraph for a concluding sentence. And I think this paragraph was kind of odd in that it didn't have a super clear concluding sentence. I thought you had better ones in some of your other paragraphs, Alana. But that just kind of goes to the point that we do want those concluding sentences to clearly tie back to the question and really summarize what has happened in the paragraph to signal to the reader that, the paragraph is over. So again, I think just making sure that at the end of your paragraph, your commentary is clearly distinct from your concluding sentence and that there is a clear end. Okay, next I looked at evidence. I think you had a good selection of evidence. So here you talk about abundance. Down here you talk more about automation. So I thought that was a nice way to differentiate your pieces of evidence and really develop the paragraph. You're also really close to embedding or integrating your evidence correctly. So like if I read this one out loud, it says, however, with the quantities of goods and the prosperity it has unleashed, blah, blah, blah. So that reads pretty smoothly, right? Like even with the quote, it blends in with your own writing, which is what we want. The only reason I didn't give you a 10 is that this one shouldn't have a comma here and it shouldn't have a capital letter if it's going to blend or flow together. And there were a few others that I think you tried to make them flow together, but when you read them out loud just sound a little bit awkward. So you are definitely on the right track. Just maybe read those a little closely to make sure the phrasing's okay. Next, I looked at commentary. Again, Alana, I think you're on the right track here. Like you're not just barfing up the quote and saying the exact same thing the quote did. The only thing I wished is, like, I'll look at this one as an example. So you have this great quotation about basically how computers are way more efficient than, a human is. And so then you say, well, that's why people need to find R-directed jobs, which I like because it does tie back to the question. But I want to know a little bit more about, like, why computers can never do those things, if that makes sense. Like computers can't empathize or they can't, play or whatever. So I think just maybe expanding your commentary a little bit could help. Lastly, I looked at citations and conventions. Conventions, I can definitely tell you proofread, just encourage you to watch out for those personal pronouns, especially you, which really makes your writing a little bit too informal. So even just saying like either way it forms an idea of what people are viewing or experiencing, that's just going to elevate it a little bit. Citations are perfect though, so good job there. Keep that up. And then I thought your R-directed activities looked really good as well. I read your letter, and obviously I know doing summer assignments is rough for anyone, but I was glad that I felt like hopefully you got some change out of it, and maybe not even so much like you pointed out from the assignment, but just hopefully the point of the book that I think being a graphic designer is awesome, and like that's something that is totally going to be used in the conceptual age. So anyway, just wanted to comment on that and give you a little feedback.